Hey everybody, Brandon Grisco here with the law firm Fosso & Bond, the premier law firm of Western Wayne County. I'm here with partner at the firm, Mark Mandel, one of our criminal defense attorneys. Mark, I hear there's been some changes in the expungement laws with respect to drunk drivings and liquor offenses. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, thanks. That's a great question because I'm getting that question all the time now. You know, what it was, Brandon, was that it used to be that you could never get an alcohol conviction expunged from your record.
So that means it stays on your record forever?
Forever. And, you know, from a criminal defense perspective, you know, I've represented people, and I'm not minimizing the severity of what drunk driving is all about. Because first and foremost, it's to keep everybody safe on the roads and keep yourself safe as well. And you shouldn't be drinking and driving. But I have seen there are other crimes out there that for that matter, that I do believe are far more serious than a drunk driving, and they are eligible for expungement. So on the criminal defense side, there's been this great debate for many years on whether we should change the laws to allow a drunk driving to be expunged. And it has been. Specific ones, to answer your question. So in August of last year, 2021, the governor finally signed into a bill that allows a first-time offender to have a drunk driving conviction expunged. One expungement, that conviction has to be over 5 years. So if it happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or for that matter, 4 years ago, you can't get it expunged. It's got to be 5 years. I highly recommend that you retain a lawyer here. Now, there is a step-by-step process that a lawyer, in this case myself, would walk the client through to make sure that, one, they're eligible for the expungement, and two, moving forward, that all the documentation that they submit for the expungement is correct. I'm just going to briefly touch on that to a certain extent. You have to get a certified copy of your criminal record. You have to go to the Michigan State Police Department to get fingerprints. And, you know, during COVID, it's not like it's a mire. You can't go to any place, walk in and ask for fingerprints.
Probably have to make an appointment, I'd imagine.
You do. And there's only a couple places right now that are allowing it. Then there's some documentation that you have to fill out. And then there's a whole process of sending that documentation to the proper entities, the court, the Attorney General's office. You know, so it's important to have a lawyer to just navigate you through the paperwork process. But I would say that's probably not the most important part of asking a court for an expungement. What you really need at that point is a lawyer. I have seen many people, you know, before we went on air today, you had asked that question about specifically what's the role of the lawyer? Like, does the judge just rubber stamp it? And you know what, Brandon? The judge does not rubber stamp the expungement. So I've had some clients already call that may have, like, as it relates to drunk driving, had low blood alcohol levels, and they just think that, you know, when they can go in and get an expungement, it's going to be real easy. Well, you've got to go back in front of that judge that sentenced you in the first place and ask for the expungement. The paperwork is just the first part of the process to get in front of the judge, but then you got to get in front of the judge.
So I imagine it's going to be really important at that point to have an advocate that can argue on your behalf to the judge and present your circumstances to the judge in a light that's going to be favorable to you.
Right, because what's not going to work is just an individual standing up there in front of a judge and just flat out saying, Judge, it was a one-time occurrence. That's not going to be good enough at all. So I highly recommend that if you're looking for an expungement, that you contact a lawyer. My phone has been blowing up since this law passed in August. Now, the good news is the law becomes effective in mid-February. So if you contact me, and it'll be easy to contact me, obviously it's Fosso & Bond here in Northville. And when I'm done with this video, there's a direct phone number or email that you can contact me with. Let's get the process rolling, because it's going to take a couple months through the paperwork, and with the law, you know, changing and now being able to do it in February, the earliest anybody's going to get in front of a judge is probably mid-March at this point. So I believe it's roughly a 2 to 3 month process. But to show a court and to show a judge and show society that you are a minimum risk of this ever happening again, and to be able to go to a prospective employer and not have that on your record, is great, because as an employer here, we look at people's records before we hire attorneys or, for that matter, support staff, and it's a great opportunity to have it removed. And I'm here to help people that are looking for expungement. So if you're a former client, pick up the phone, call me. If this is the first time you've heard about the expungement, again, pick up the phone, email me. We can go through the entire process and I can answer any and all questions you may have.
Folks, don't wait on this. This is so important that you have a clear record for all the different things that you're going to be doing in life. Don't let this follow you around. Give Mark Mandel a call here at the law firm Fossil & Bond, and he'll take good care of you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.